Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show as we get you all set for the 2023 high school football season. We haven't talked to this guy in a minute, but we're glad he's here. It's Kurt Bruich, the head football coach of the Citrus Valley Blackhawks. And Coach, here we go into another season. I was kind of joking with you off the air. As long as I keep enjoying doing this, I'll keep going. You're back for another season. You must, get excited about this time of the year and just going into a new football season where your record's 0-0 and the possibilities are limitless, right?
Yeah, actually, I love the entire process. I really enjoy the off season, and I've got to enjoy it more and more. One, because I don't have to make a depth chart, so you don't have to see kids disappointed. Every kid improves in their strength and their speed, and that's kind of a cool thing. And then as you get closer to the season, things start getting a little more competitive, and that's where you have to start, I guess, setting reality in for a lot of kids become role players, and a lot of kids become starters, and then some kids become stars. So it's fun. Like I said, the whole process is a lot of fun, and I still enjoy it too, Pep. I've really fallen in love with it again post COVID. I'm having a great time, and the kids here at Citrus Valley are amazing.
Coach, does this training camp this August, does it feel important to you this year just because you lost some really good seniors? And I know you lose seniors every year, but I'm talking about like your quarterback, your star receiver / DB. I mean, does this feel like an important training camp just for the simple fact that you've got some big spots to fill going into this year?
I think the biggest spot we have to fill is the quarterback position. We have been very, very fortunate at Citrus Valley to have, Dylan Wheatley followed by Hunter Herrera. When he got hurt, Brock Liam came in and did his thing. We've had quite a battle between Cade Finazzo, who's been in the program 4 years, and Dawson Martinez, who joined us late in the spring. And so those two have been learning Cade kind of knows the offense more than Dawson, but Dawson's been very impressive as well. So that's been, the focal point basically is who's gonna be the quarterback for the season. We'll find out here moving forward. They're both gonna get equal time in the scrimmage, and then we'll go from there.
I know it's not popular, but your boy Matt Logan at Centennial, he's played 2 or 3 starting quarterbacks. Is that a possibility, or do you
Absolutely.
like? Yeah,
absolutely a possibility. They're 2 different quarterbacks totally. They basically will make you prepare for 2 different offenses. And that's not saying they're short at anything else, but they would make you prepare. We're still waiting, on the CIF ruling with Dawson right now. We might see him until game 6, which happens to be Redlands, by the way. We might not see him till that game. So he might have to sit and watch and learn and be patient as he, waits for his sit out period if that does come to fruition.
Well, Coach, as you go into the scrimmage, you're playing Harupa Hills. I know Cedos Marinas, he's your guy over there at Harupa Hills. Is it important that, going into the scrimmage, you got probably important work that you want to get done, that the other coach, the other team that you're comfortable with, it's like a controlled environment, you're going to, come out of that scrimmage healthy and getting accomplished what you want to get accomplished? Is it important that you schedule a team like that, a coach like that to go up against?
100%. I'm so old that I coached Cedos back at Roland High School back in the day. I was his defensive coordinator. That was my last coordinator job before I got the head job at Cerritos. And then, he coached with me a year at Cerritos. And then when I went to Rev, he got with me there. So we've known each other for a good long time. All of his assistants are ex-players of mine, not all of them, but most. So what we try to do in the scrimmage is, we start with the normal scrimmage. We're going to do this many 12 plays. You're going to do 12 plays. But then we start getting more situational. So, we'll both do red zones, and then we'll do, short fields. And then we'll do, and in between all the stuff, we're throwing in the kicking game. We're doing, pin punts and field goals. And, it's very controlled, but at the same time, it's very specific because we feel like one of our advantages is teaching our kids situational football. Because sometimes we may not have as much talent, but mentally, if we can win the mental part of the game, learning the situations, that's what we're going to do. And obviously, I've instilled that in Cedos as well. So it's real fun to see what we get out of it.
All right, Coach, after the scrimmage, the first real game is against Mission Viejo. If my memory serves me correct, I want to say maybe 2014-ish. You guys, I think, played Mission Viejo at the U of R. And I know you had some battles with them between Rev and Mission Viejo. Was it important to schedule a perennial CIF Southern Section powerhouse somewhere in that non-league schedule to kind of get tested a little bit?
Oh my goodness, no. The problem we have is no one will play us. I mean, we reach out to everybody in the area, and yes, I'm saying this. So if anyone wants to play us, our schedule is going to be open in preseason next year. Please contact us if you'd like to play us from the area, because we get Carter gets COVID. When we're going to play them, and whoever was playing Centennial on COVID, I'm like, please. But I mean, we're not going to run from anyone at the same time, So I mean, in the time I've been at Citrus Valley, now we played Centennial, and we're about to play Mission Viejo. I mean, I'm not trying to wear chevrons on my shoulder or anything, but those are the two best public schools around. So I mean, again, we won't shy away at all. But I mean, the way the CIF playoffs work now, playing someone, and this is why people don't want to play us in the same token, is playing someone above you hurts you. Whether you win or lose, it hurts you in the long run. So it doesn't do us a lot of good. I mean, if we win, what are we going to be in Division I?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, and if we lose, it still moves us up. I mean, I see where we're ranked at right now. It's just by playing a team with a 50+ ranking, it's going to move us up. So, is it ideal? No, but is it great for our kids because it's teaching them about life and never backing down from challenges and all the good things that matter. Then at the end, who cares about your playoff ranking? We'll go where they put us and we'll be fine. We did pretty well last year.
Coach, what was it? Division II last year, right? You beat
Yes,
Cajon
sir.
in the opening round.
Which is bizarre, Pep. Which is bizarre to have to play your CBL opponent. Nick and I are really good friends, and when you get to the playoffs, you want to root for each other. And you want to help each other out. And then, there's 2 teams from the CBL. There's 5 teams from the Mission League. I get it. 2 of them played each other as well. But I mean, you want to at least be able to, wear the CBL on your chest and go into the playoffs. But when you have to play each other in the first round, I mean, the CBL loses. It just loses. And I get that's the rankings and all that kind of stuff, but it was just unfortunate. It was definitely unfortunate that had to happen.
I just kind of assumed that maybe I'm old school, but like when you had 2 teams from the same league, they would be on opposite sides of the bracket. So like if they met, it would be like that championship game. But a first round game, you guys probably sold a lot of tickets. I think it was at Cajon actually, but there's probably a lot of tickets sold. But still, I mean, a first round game that was kind of silly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. It used to be that way, like you're saying, but. Now that it's based on a ranking, and it depends where they cut off Division I. So they, Nick and I are texting back and forth before. I'm like, if it's this, you're going to get this. I'm going to get this. If it's this, but I don't know. And I said, the worst thing is if they take 10, then we got to play each other. And I've been like laughing emoji. And sure enough, they take 10. And I'm like, great, So, like I said, it was a big stepping stone for us to be able to compete and actually, beat Cajon. But at the same time, like I said, man, that's not what the playoffs are about. You representing your league, At least maybe I'm old school, but that's what I feel like. It's not every man for himself anymore. We're good lucking each other before the games, with all our CBL coaches and stuff like that. Just as every other league is. It's just unfortunate when you have to play each other. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Coach, because I'm just thinking out loud right now. So when I first got to the IE, it was based on proximity. There was like the Inland Division, Central Division, Eastern Division, to name a few. Do you think there's a way where you could maybe somehow take the competitive equity and geographic location, the proximity of the schools and somehow, kind of make it work?
Well, I mean, they did. The Inland Division in the past was kind of that deal,
Yeah.
If they got super specific with vicinity, then Centennial will just win every year, because we're the Inland Empire,
Yeah.
I mean, the level that you have to get to play them, I know that we're not there yet as we played them a couple of years ago, ouch. But I mean, I don't know if there's a way. I mean, people have talked about breaking off, the CIF is such the biggest section ever. People have talked about, can we get an Inland Empire section? Can we get because there's a San Diego section, there's an LA section, can there be an Orange County section? Can there be different sections is what you're saying. And I mean, as far as, if people, if the CIF in a perfect world want to make more money, I mean, that would be the ticket. You might be onto something, Pep. You might become the next Inland Empire CIF commissioner.
The next Rob Wygod out there. Well, you're right. Well, it was like Centennial versus Vista Murrieta in the Inland for I think like 3 or 4 years in a row, which wasn't very fun for everybody else. But I felt like some of those other playoff, like the Central and the Eastern, if there could be some variation of like that for the Inland, maybe. I don't know, maybe put Centennial in their own little open division bracket or something like that, and then everyone else just, go at it. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. I don't know how that would work out, but I've heard some people like the competitive equity stuff, and some don't, and some don't like not even knowing what division they're going to be in until the end of the year. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables that I think kind of divides coaches.
Yeah, I feel like it's great for, the teams that haven't had a lot of success. I feel like it's great for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's congratulations. You beat Cajon, go play Chaminade, and they show up with 6-7 linemen across. And I'm like, wait, yeah, this is cool. This is fun. They had 17 D1 commits. We had 2, I mean, come on, man. That's the old private versus public thing. But I said, we gave them our shot. It wasn't like we didn't get blown out,
Well, Coach, finally, going through training camp and leading into your scrimmage, if you were going to just kind of give a blanket statement about this year's Citrus Valley team, where do you think the Blackhawks will be strong this year? What do you think you guys are going to do well that might lend, towards success?
Okay, give me 1 sec. My lights went out. Just 1 sec.
Oh, my
Sorry,
gosh.
Technical difficulty. There we go. All right, I'm back.
Pay that electric bill. I know electric bills are high right now, but
it's the sensor in the classroom. I'm sorry, Pep, you got to repeat the question.
Just the fact, like a blanket statement, just, what this Citrus Valley team is going to do well this year, and what do you think is going to be the key for you guys just being successful all year long, whether it's this, daunting non-league schedule, CBL, a deep playoff run. What do you think is going to kind of be the makeup of this Blackhawk team in 2023?
You know what? I'm very interested. Usually I have a big idea on how we're going to be, this year, I'm very optimistic that we could have a big year, but I also, see some things that could hinder us from having a big year, without throwing anyone under the bus, or any kind of thing, weakness that we have. But people will still figure it out. We'll play good coaches. Our statement is this. I think we're very good in the offensive line. We have 4 returning starters back. So I know we're going to be physical in the offensive line, which will allow us to run the ball a little bit more and take the heat off our quarterback. I think we have 1 to 2 tight ends that we can insert in at any time, to get more guys in the box. We have great playmakers on the outsides, receivers. We have 2 really good running backs. And I said we have we'll have a 2 quarterback system eventually. One quarterback can score and the other quarterback can throw it 100 yards. Defensively, we're gonna confuse people. We're gonna line up in all kinds of different fronts. We're gonna move. We're gonna fly around. We're just going to create things on defense, like we always do. Coach Tessitore does a great job, not only figuring out what the other team's doing, but applying pressure to those areas. He'll take away things that you do really well and make you go to your, 3rd, 4th option. Mm-hmm. And he's always been good at that. We have a lot of guys returning. This team, started during COVID, but we really didn't start till spring. So we've actually coached them for all 4 years. They were never a freshman team. They were always varsity kids their whole 4 years. So they're used to us. We're used to them. It was hard for me. I didn't even pick captains this year because there's so many of them who are such great leaders that'll be important for us. When adversity hits, different kids are going to step up and lead our team at different times. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm very, very optimistic about because I love that. I mean, more than football and wins and losses, to see these kids grow and thrive and take on leadership roles. And some of them really disappointed because they might not be starters, but still take leadership roles, and coach the kids who's in front of them, who might be a little younger. Hey, this is what you got to do in this situation. That makes me really proud, and that's what you want your program to be about. Obviously you want to win, but at the end of the day, those kind of things help you win, and help those kids win. So that's us in a nutshell. Like I said, I'm getting all fired up again, Pep. You got me all excited. But at the end of the day, I love our team. I love our situation, and let's see what happens. Let's go find out.
Well, Coach Bruich, I always appreciate the time. You're always so generous hopping on the Inland Sports Show. Tell my boy Cetos hello when you guys scrimmage, and here we go. I know we got week 0 this week, but next week you guys will get it cracking against Mission Viejo. That's a huge game right out of the gate.